Welcome back to KidsLearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock here, the lesson is about to begin. If this is your first time playing piano, welcome. I'm very excited for you. You're going to do great. Hopefully you already received from us the welcome packet in the mail, and maybe you even got started on the Absolute Beginners video pack to teach you the names of the notes and things like that. But if not, that's fine. You'll do great. I'll show you how to play all the notes. And if I'm going too fast for you, you can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. You can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. And even if you only learn a little bit of this song and you don't learn the whole thing, you'll still learn enough to help you build skills so you can learn other songs faster in the future. So jump in, give it a try. You're bound to end up at least a little bit better than you even are right now. Throughout the lesson, I may refer to Kloppel Academy, and you can check out that link on the website if you want. Basically, it's a program that takes you all the way from learning the names of the notes, the very beginning, through 12 levels of classical and jazz music, through all the skills that you would need to become a professional pianist. So you would learn all the same stuff that you would learn if you're taking regular traditional piano lessons, probably plus a little bit more, but it takes about 5 to 10 years to complete. So you can just try out the first level, see if it's the kind of thing that you like, or if you just care about today's lesson and learning this song, then just ignore all those references and focus on today's lesson. If you're watching this at LearnPianoLive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The MP3 is a play-along track that you can use to practice more after the lesson, but a lot of students like to print out the PDF right now so they have it during the lesson. Careful, it could be up to like 30 pages, so just find the couple pages that you want and print those out. If you decide not to, that's fine. I'll show you all of the notes on screen as we go through it. And we will be going through 5 different levels of this song that all use the same play-along track. So even if you've never played piano before, you'll still be able to do level 1. And then as we go through level 2, 3, 4, and 5, then when we use that same play-along track, you just keep playing your same version. If you're watching this lesson in the archives and you have a question during the lesson, then feel free to click on that survey button. And at the end of the survey, there's a place for you to ask your question, and I will do my best to get back to you with the answer to that question. But if you're with us live as we're recording this today, then feel free to click on that chat button, and you can talk with all the other students who are logged in during the live lesson. And if you have a question about the lesson, then you can just go ahead and type that into the box that says, Ask Jamin a Question, and we will do our best to answer that question live in the lesson. All right, I think that's the end of the boring stuff. I'm ready to learn a song. Stay tuned at the end of the lesson and I'll show you how to win more points and earn more prizes next week. But for right now, let's get this party started. Hello and welcome back to KidsLearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and we're supposed to have Shades in the studio today, and she's always late, but she's really good at piano, so she's going to be learning the song right along with you for the very first time. And as always, we have Kendra, our moderator. How's it going, Kendra?
Hi, it's going great. How are you?
Fantastic. I am ready for this song, and I'm ready for these graduations to be over and for us to finally be able to get into summer. Because I don't know about you, but the graduation ceremonies always seem so boring to me. Are they to you?
I've never been to like a high school one or a college one, but I went to a middle school one that was relatively short. So,
the best compliment you can have for a graduation ceremony really is that it's short. There's so many people talking and talking and talking. Yes. So, but anyway, if you have to go to a graduation ceremony, the good news is at the end of it, that's the beginning of summer. So, let's get into this song and learn how to play this. Of course, we have Kloppel, our always impatient mascot penguin with his hey Kloppel. Good to see you, buddy. We're going to move right along, and this song
what about the weekly activity?
This weekly activity actually is already in the email, so they already sent it out, so they should already know how to do that. Okay, cool. So then, this song is super duper short, and it's the left hand is going to be kind of difficult. So it's kind of a difficult song if you're doing like level 4 or higher. It's more difficult than most of them. But if you're on levels 1 through 3, it's easier than normal. So I'll show you how it's going to work. We're going to start out here on a C. In order to find a C, with the PDF, we need to, thank you. We're going to start out on a C. And to find a C, you're just going to take any group of 2 black notes like those. Or those, not those, that'd be a group of 3. You don't want that, you want a group of 2. You're gonna take the lowest note and you're just gonna drag it down 1, and you'd land on a C. Or in this case, I'm gonna use a higher C, so I'm gonna take this high group of 2 and bring it down 1 note, and that's gonna land on a C. And from there, we just go C, down 1 note, and then back up to that C. So that's those first 3 notes right there. And then you're going to go 1 note higher than that, and that's going to be a D. So it's going to be grads, walking, so. We're going to need to jump down to this one. This is the lowest note we've played so far. It's going to go way lower than this here in a second. Slowly, please, just make it end. So if you think about starting out on a C, it kind of just walks straight down. Grads, walking, so, slow. Please, just make it end. So it's kind of just walking down, except every now and then it'll jump up and like play a higher note. So I'm going to play all of the walking down with my left hand, like that, and I'm going to show you what the jumping up notes are with my right hand. So grads, walking, so, slowly, please, just make it end. So you can see my left hand's just moving all straight down, no moving around at all. So those other tricky notes in there make the jumps kind of weird, but if you just think of it as all going straight down, I think that might help you get rid of some of those weird jumps. And then we've got an F sharp coming up right there. So after we go straight down from C down to D, then we're going to start walking back up again. So then we have then, robed people. So that's just walking straight up, except you're not going to play the F this time. You're going to play the note slightly higher than an F. That's an F sharp. So then, robed people. We're going to have to jump up to the highest note of the song, talk, and then you're going to have to jump down to G. So this thing right here is probably the trickiest move of the whole thing. A, up to D, down to G. P, pull, talking. And then if you can get back to that C that you started on and walk straight down to G, that's the whole entire song. I think we've got time to try it a couple times with the track. Let's go. Get ready on that C. Just try to get the first couple notes if you can. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2. Here we go. Grads, walking so slowly. Then we need an F and then an E. Get ready, here comes that F sharp, that weird one. Then, robed people talking again and again. And if you want to, at the end of this, you could go back up to that C and just hang on to it with the track. Or if you were like actually playing this at a graduation, then you could just loop it back around to the beginning, because this song just kind of loops and loops and loops and loops, and there's not really a great end for it for the chunk that we're doing here. So let's try this again with the track. Here we go. Get ready on that C. Oh, really? Okay. It says this should be our last time through. We'll try it. And a 2. Get ready on the C. We're going to move down first and then go back up. Ready? Here we go. Grads. Walking so slowly, please just make it end. We're gonna go to the E and then the F sharp. Watch out when we walk up for that one. All the way down to G. Back up to that C that we started on and walk it straight down to G. And then I'm gonna pretend like I'm gonna start over again and maybe just end on a C there. I don't know. I just kind of made that last part up. But anyway, that apparently was our last time through, which this is usually where we say goodbye to all of the free streams. But this week, we're going to let you hang out and watch the entire lesson for free if you're on YouTube or on Twitch. So here's our video of the week.
get her head wet like that. We'll just wipe her off. Oh, not in the nose. Not in the nose. Almost done. Almost done. I love it when she sticks her tongue out. Come on, get on the dry one. You want to stay on a Bobo? Bobo's all wet.
That has nothing to do with graduation at all. It's just adorable. Let's level up.
Transitioning to level 2. This may be confusing to level 1 students, so please continue to practice the level 1 version or visit learnpianolive.com/level 2 for a detailed explanation on how to level up.
Okay, here we are on level 2. It's going to be the exact same notes. Nothing is any more difficult. In fact, some people find this actually easier, even though it looks terrifying. The stuff that's out there kind of helps you know what the notes are. So, like, for example, right here, we start out on a C. You would know that from this treble clef graph over here that says anytime you have a note on the 1, 2, 3, third space up, 1, 2, 3, it's always a C. And that's going to be true from here until forever. If you're looking at the treble clef like you are right here, then that third space up is always going to be a C. So then when you're looking at sheet music, if you see that note, bam, you already know what it is. You don't even have to have the note written inside of it. But I did write the note inside of it in case you're still just working on learning those lines and spaces. But the cool part is then you can see, well, from that space, we're going to go down 1 notch to that line, and then up 1 notch to that space, and then up 1 notch to that line. So you can see how many notches or how many notes you're supposed to move over. Of course, if you go to learnpianolive.com/level 2, I will say that slower and in more detail. But for right now, because I know Kloppel is going to be interrupting me soon, let's go ahead and try this thing. Just know that the, oh, yes?
Hi! Did you know that Pomp and Circumstance is considered a march and is usually played by a military band?
Ha!
I did not know any of that.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of feels marchy.
I didn't know it was a march.
It's a really slow march.
Yeah.
It's not like a march into battle.
Right.
It's more like a march.
Right.
I don't know.
It's just like
depressed, sad. Which it shouldn't be because it's summertime. It should be like, but anyway, it's not. Yeah, okay, cool, thanks. So, back to our music here. You should know that all the notes that have a bar on them and a flag on them, those all mean the exact same thing. It just means play those notes a little bit faster. I think that's all I'm going to say. Let's jump in and try it again. Get ready on that C. Here we go. And a 1, 2, ready, play. Grass, walking so slowly. Please, just make it end. Then, robed people talking again and again. I'm going to pretend like I'm going to go back up to the beginning and play it again. Grads, walking so, grads. Okay, cool. That's all of the notes. There's nothing else to say about this. We got the sharp in there. What? No. Okay, fine. I'll hurry up. This will be our last time through. If you only have the first few notes, that's perfectly fine. Just try to get the first grads walking so. If you can jump down to slow, you're gonna have like half the song before you know it because the rest of it's just walking straight down. So if you can't play all of the notes here or you can't play very far, that's perfectly fine. Just try to make it to slow by the end of the lesson, and then you'll be well on your way. Here we go. And a 2 and a 1, 2. Here we go, grads, walking so slowly. Walk it down. And watch out for this F sharp if you're still with us. E, F sharp, G, A, D, G, C, C, B, A, G. I kind of like that as an end now. Yeah, we'll just use that one. Grads walking so, grads. Okay, so then that is all of them. And Kloppel says it's already time to move on. That can't be. Okay, fine. Well, good news. The next thing's pretty cool. It's mailbag.
If you'd like to win an extra 750 points by being the mailbag winner, just fill out the survey at the end of the lesson or send us a message anytime during the week using the contact button at the top of the page.
And this week it's from I Like Piano 55. It says, Dear Jamin, where does the in-studio student go to practice the song during the live lesson? Well, if it's Shades, I have no idea. She is never in the places that I expect her to be. She usually shows up for the time when she's supposed to play. But for everybody else, there's actually a waiting room outside of the studio here, and there's a piano out there. So they're usually practicing really hard in the waiting room, so when they come in, they can play what they can play for you. Because usually that's a pretty amazing accomplishment. But of course, they have like the nerves and stuff of being here in the studio, and they know that you're going to watch them play the song here in just a second. So if you want to play the song really quickly, what you do is you pretend like you're in the waiting room of my studio, and then on level 3 and level 5, I'm going to be checking in with you, and you're going to have to play it in front of the whole wide world. And usually that helps you to stay really focused and get all of the notes that you can, because you're terrified that at level 3 and level 5, you're going to look stupid. So that kind of helps you to learn the song a little bit faster. But if you're just hanging out at home, maybe chatting in the chat room, that's cool too. You got all week to practice. But that's usually where they're going. It's actually just about 20 feet away from where I am outside the soundproof studio. So that is level 2. Let's go to level 3.
Transitioning to level 3. This may be confusing to level 1 and 2 students. Please continue to practice your own level or visit learnpianolive.com/level3 to understand how this level works.
Okay, so here we go. On level 3, this is where we add some left hand, and actually, this might be my favorite left hand that we've ever done on level 3. So usually we're just playing like the chords. You're going to see the same stuff show up later. But actually, this is the official real left hand that you should play like as a professional. So it's going to pretty much walk up as the melody walks down, and that's kind of what makes this whole thing have the feel that it does. The melody kind of, as we already talked about, kind of moves down step by step by step, and the left hand is kind of moving up step by step. So let me show you these notes here. This is the bass clef, by the way. These lines and spaces are different. So like we said on level 3, level 2, if you're in the treble clef, the third space up is going to be a C always. Well, you'll notice this one is on the 1, 2, third space up, and it is an E, not a C. That's because we're in the bass clef, and the bass clef is the chart for all of the low notes. That's pretty much all the clefs you're ever going to run into. If you memorize the treble clef for high notes and bass clef for low notes, you've got everything that you need. So on level 4 and 5, I'm not going to bring in new clefs, but you should know that the 1, 2, 3, third space up on the bass clef is an E and not a C, and it's kind of a low E. This E right here, I'm going to play it down here just because I like it really, really low. But so it's going to start out on a C and then move up to D, and then 2 E's in a row, and then an F, and then a G, and then you get the F sharp early right here, because in the right hand you're going to have the F sharp down here, but we get that early in the left hand, and then we go back down to C, and then down here it's going to jump around a lot. It's going to go to a B, and then an E, and then an A, and then a D, and then a G. So maybe I'll play it up here so you can see all those notes, because some of them went off your screen, I know, but I like the really low sounds there. So let's try that with the track. I'm going to go left hand only, and then I'll try to put them together before we check and see if Shades even showed up today. Here we go. So this is left hand only. If you're on level 1 or 2, just play your version. Don't worry about anything we're doing over here. Here we go. Grass, walking so slowly. Please just make it end. Then wrote people talking again and again. And then we could act like we're going to go back up to the top and grads and just stay there for grads. So we're going to try this one more time. I'm going to put in the right hand this time along with the left hand and see if we can play the whole thing together. And at this point, honestly, I usually don't say this till level 4, but if you can do both hands together on level 3, you almost don't even need a track at that point. It just really sounds like the song. So here we go, one more time. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2. Here we go. Grass, walking so slowly. just make it end. Then wrote people talking again and again. Then we go back up to the top. Grads walking so grand. Real quick here too, one last thing. Let me show you what this does sound like if we don't have the track. It sounds something like this. That sounds pretty impressive, right? We just add in a couple of notes. Oops, not those notes. Add in one or two notes there and you're like playing a really professional version. But speaking of professional, let's check in with Shades. She's very, very good. She knows a lot of this stuff. Welcome. Glad you could make it. Finally. 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, California time. That's when we start. Okay, whatever. So this thing's gonna start on a C. I know you know where a C is. Yes, and pretty much just walk straight down, but there's a couple little parts where it's gonna jump up. What level would you like to look at while you're level 1? Okay. You act like you don't know this stuff, but then when you play it, it always sounds great. All right. Well, here we go. You ready? Oh, no headphones. Yes. Here you go. Good luck, friend. On your mark, get set. 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, ready, go. Grads, so slowly, please, just make D. Good. Watch out for the F sharp. Here it comes. Good. Talking. Then a C, again and again. And then pretend like you're gonna play the whole thing again. Grass, walking so, and then C at the end. Yeah, that's it. That's the one, good job. Cool. So watch out on the second line, that E should be right next to that D. So I think you jumped up an octave. You played all the right letters, but they were just kind of in the wrong octave. So watch out for that. Other than that, you're making great progress. Way to go. It's time for you to
Transitioning to level 4. This may be unsettling to lower levels. Please continue to practice your own level, or visit learnpianolive.com/level4 for an in-depth explanation on how to conquer this level.
And off she goes again. She just ran out of the studio. I have no... Okay. Whatever. She shows up. She does her thing. Then she's gone. So level 4, here we go. This is the actual, real, official version now. The left hand that I was talking about how I like it to be so low, if you can reach an octave, then you have ginormous hands. A lot of you, most of you, won't be able to reach an octave, so you should just play the note really low. But if you can reach an octave, 2 C's at the same time, then that would make this thing sound even better. And then we've got all of the crazy chords. I don't think we've ever had so many chords so quickly in any song ever before. What I do need to show you is, if you don't know how to do 7 chords yet, that's normal. That's fine. Just ignore any time it has a 7 over there. And so that chord would just be a G. It would not be a G7. That would also go for... Is there another 7 in here? Yes, right over here. I thought so. That one right there. So that would also just be a G, the same chord you're playing right there, so you could just get rid of that whole entire thing. Okay, now we need to talk about slashes. Slashes are kind of crazy because usually if you're playing a G chord, and you know this if you've been to learnpianolive.com/level4 before, if you're playing a G chord, that would be like G and B and D. By the way, yes, those chords are all listed on the next page. So if you want to know the notes for a G chord, they're all listed right there. But you already hopefully know what a G chord is, and you know to add in G's and B's and D's, and in your left hand, you'd usually be playing a G because that's the name of the chord. In a slash chord, that's not the case. If it's a G/D, that means you're gonna play a G, everything's normal, but down here, you're not gonna play a G, you're gonna play a D. That's it right there. That's a G/D or a G over D. So this next one would be an A minor, which normal A minor would be a A and a C and an E, and you'd play an A down here. Not in this case. In this case, you're going to play an E down here because that's what's after the slash. So first time through, I'm not even going to worry about any of the melody. I'm just going to play all of the chords and try to call them out loud as we go. If you're on level 1 through 3, ignore all of this. The chord stuff is crazy, but I'm just going to try to call out the chords and the slashes and then show you what they would look like, just the chord part. Here we go. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2. Here we go. C, G over D, A minor over E, C over E, F, C over G, D over F sharp, G, C, D over C, G over B, E minor, A minor, D, G. Okay. Since there's only one, you can go to C chord at the end too if you want. Since there's only one 7 chord, I'm just going to give you the hint on this one. The G7 is a regular G chord with an F thrown in. So that's going to really help that thing sound especially cool. G chord, G7 is just 4-note chord. I know a lot of you can't even reach that far, so you could just play the G here and play maybe those notes up there. But throwing an F in, or you could throw it in down here, that would be that. Now, let me show you what that would sound like if you threw in notes up here that were from the chord. Grads, walking so slowly, please just make it end. Good luck to us all. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2. Here we go. Grads, walking so slowly, please just make it end. Then row people talking again and again. Grads, walking so grads. That is a lot to keep track of. Like I said, maybe one of the hardest levels we've ever had. Even though level 1 through 3 were particularly easy compared to our other songs, level 4 just gets crazy here. So we'll go one more time. I'll try to add in all the chord tones possible, keep those octave pulses going in the left hand, and we'll see what we come up with. Here we go. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2. Ready, go. Grads, walking so slowly, just make it end. Then row people talking again and again. Grads, walking so grads. Okay, well, that is all of the level 4 stuff that you would do if you did that without a track. Wow. Yeah, you don't need any track at all once you do any of that stuff. They're adding in any chord tones, and if you can get those octaves or just a really low note, that would all sound great. It's time, though, for our feature of the day. Okay, so Kendra, you're going to join me for this one. It's supposed to be joke of the day.
All right.
Now, we've got, if you go to learnpianolive.com/jokes, we have a bunch of jokes listed there. They're all of my favorite jokes, but some of them we have added recently. So I wanted to share with you the ones that I've just recently added. This is learnpianolive.com/jokes. Okay. Here we go. You ready?
I am
ready.
ready.
We tried this one before, actually, but it didn't go over well because the other students were not aware that the Titanic, which was sunk by an iceberg, was known as unsinkable. Okay, that's
Okay.
important background knowledge for this
Okay,
joke.
got it.
So, what can think the unthinkable?
What?
An iceberg. No, I was afraid of that. Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
What could
Oh,
sink the unsinkable?
All
All right, so here's another one.
Got it.
Two peanuts walk into a bar and one was assaulted. Peanut. Assaulted peanut. I know. All of the jokes on our site are exactly like that. I think that they're awesome. Okay, let me give you.
They are. They're great. Okay.
Okay, one more. This is probably my favorite, except for the one that I share with you at the end of the lesson. That's my real favorite. That has to do with butts. Okay, but if the butts aside, this is my favorite one.
Okay.
I went shopping for some cherries and a microphone the other day. Bada bing, bada boom. Because Bing cherries and boom stands for microphones. Bada bing, bada boom. That's what I bought. A Bing, and I bought.
Okay,
a boom.
that's good. That's very good.
So if you want more terrible jokes, learnpianolive.com/jokes, and you can see all of my favorite horrible jokes. Let's please level up. When will it end?
Transitioning to level 5. This may be terrifying to lower levels. Please continue to practice your own level or visit learnpianolive.com/level 5 for training on how to survive this level.
That's got to be one of the worst feelings in the world is when someone comes up to you and says, "Let me tell you a joke," and you're like, "Oh no, this is definitely not going to be funny and I'm going to have to laugh anyway." So you get ready, and then sure enough, yeah. All right, well, level 5, this is where we take out all of the, oh, by the way, level 4B, I forgot to mention this. If you go to your PDF, you've got level 4B on this one because usually Pomp and Circumstance, the graduation song, is played in the key of G. So... usually you would play it in the key of G, but we've written it in the key of C for all of our level 1 through 4 players. But at level 4B and level 5, we start talking about the key of G, and G is just where you take G, which is normally a number 5, and instead it would look a little something like the key of G. It would look like this, where this note is in there. That's the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1. So normally the numbers would go something like this: 1, 7, 1, 2, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 2. But since we are in the key of C, this is not number 1. We are in the key of C, so this one right here is number 1, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So we're playing 1, 7, 6, 1, 7, 1, 2, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 2. That's what our right hand, the yellow part, is doing. And then the left hand is going to be playing a 1 chord. And for the first time ever, I think, we've got a 7 chord. Finally, this is going to be a 1 chord. That's going to be a 7 chord. I know it sounds super duper weird. It's actually a 5 chord with a 7 on it, but I was afraid I wouldn't get the 7 in there if I put that in there. So we just went with the 7 chord. So it's 1, 7 chord, 6, 1, 4, 1, and then watch out, this is a major 2. So normally that would be a 2 chord right there because it starts on the 2 and it's every other note. But in this case, that middle note's going to get raised by a half step. So that one right there is our major 2 chord, which then goes to the 5, and then 1, and then a major 2 again. So that's a regular, just major 2, and then 7. But this time, instead of having a diminished 7, we're going to raise this note right here to come up with our minor 7 to a 3, to a 6, to that same major 2 we had before, to a 5. So, as you can see, this song has a lot of major 2s in it. That's kind of the main characteristic of the song, is that major 2 feel. I'm going to try playing just those chords along with you while you play the melody of the thing. Unless you're on level 5 and you want to see how this works, then good luck to you all. Here we go. I'll call them out as we go. 2 and a 1, 2. Here we go. 1 chord, 7, 6, 1. To a 4 chord, to a 1 chord, to a major 2, to a 5, to a 1, to a major 2, to a minor 7, to a 3, to a 6, to a major 2, to a 5. And and then we go back to the 1 if we want to start the whole thing over again. So this time I'll try the same exact thing, but I'm going to spread out some of the chord tones and try to get our melody in there with the right hand and the left hand. Here we go. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2. Here we go. To the 4, to the 3, 4, 5, major 2, to the 5, to the 1, major 2, minor 7, to the 3, to the 6, to the major 2, to 5. And then we can go back to the beginning. That's the whole thing. I think it's probably time to check in with Shades and see how things are going, see if she's gotten any more of her notes down. I have no idea where you were off to, but we'll see if this one's any better. You still want level 1 to look at? Okay. Here we go. Back to level 1. You can either just watch her and see if she's picked up any other notes, or if you want to play along and see if you can get more notes than her, then good luck because she's really good at this stuff. But on your mark, get set, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Grads, walking so slow. Yeah, good. Okay, good save. Just make it, and okay, watch out. Here comes the F sharp, and stay down. E, F sharp. Yes. Again and again. And then back up to the beginning again. Grads, walking so. Grads, you did it. Nice job. That was cool. Yeah, very nice. So I don't think there's really anything to change on that. You just need to keep on practicing, smoothing it out, just like probably everybody at home needs to. And they're all wondering, did I win the $10 gift card this week? Let's find out. Thank you all for joining us. Share W. Tell us what prize it is that you want. Don't forget, our chat winner was who?
Josh and Tristan.
Josh and Tristan, way to go. Don't forget to send in your videos, not just Josh and Tristan, but everybody, once you learn this song, and then fill out the survey at the end if you want to pick up some extra points. And next week, we're doing The Middle. It's going to be an awesome song. See you then. Hey, great, you're still here, so you must want more. Well, I've got 4 things for you: archives, practice tips, points, and jokes. First of all, if you didn't like this week's song, I'm sorry, and you can always go to learnpianolive.com/next song and vote for what our next song should be. And right now you can go to the kids' lesson archives and just pick a different song. Work on that this week. Now you probably don't have the whole song down yet, so what you can do is, this helps a lot of people, just next time pretend that you're the in-studio student and that in level 3 and level 5 we're going to be checking in with you and you've got to play at least some of the songs. I find that my students that come in and they're the in-studio students, they actually learn the songs way faster than they learn their regular songs I give them in their regular lessons. So if you just pretend that you're the in-studio student and that someone's going to be watching you, then that might help a lot. Also, you have the practice log that you can send in for extra points, and that can help you practice. And there's the daily challenge where you get extra points for logging your practice time there as well. Just click on daily challenge and it will play a video that doesn't have any sound really. You just practice, and then every now and then you'll hear a sound like this.
The number 7.
And then once you collect all of the letters and numbers, then you just put them in and you submit that, and you get points for doing that, and you get better because in between all those letters and numbers, you're practicing your song from the week. Of course, once you know the song, then definitely record yourself on your mom's cell phone or on your tablet or on whatever, and use the video submission button, and so you can send us your video that way and get points for that as well. You might even become the featured video for the week. All right, so let's move on to points. Here's the different ways you can get points. You can get up to 50 points just for participating in the chat in the live lesson. You get 300 points on top of that if you are the person in the chat room that week who makes the most helpful comments during the chat. That daily music challenge thing that I told you about, every day when you click on that and you submit the secret code, 150 points just for doing that. Every song comes with a practice log, and if you fill that out and have your parents sign it and you send that in, that's worth 300 points right there. Each week on Facebook and in the email that we send you, we give you a new weekly activity. It's just a fun little maze or puzzle or something to do. It doesn't really have much to do with music, but it does have something to do with that week's song, and it has something to do with getting you 150 points. Then if you click on survey at the end of the lesson and you fill that out and give us some feedback about the song, then we've given out up to 500 points before for great comments and feedback in the survey. Of course, submit your videos of you playing. Almost every video that gets submitted earns at least 200 points, even if it's not perfect. I guess work on it a little bit, but I'm just saying it doesn't have to be perfect. Here's another one. Every single month at learnpianolive.com/contest, we have a contest and usually give out at least 400 points, and oftentimes there are other gift cards and other prizes included in that contest. Okay, now we're getting into some big numbers. If you ever go to a concert that is classical music or it's classic jazz, which means like swing and bebop and stuff like that, you can ask your parents if it's a classic jazz concert. Then you get 500 points just by having your parents let us know what concert you attended. Now I keep asking you to send us your videos, and almost always you get points right up front for submitting those videos. Don't forget to put the legal disclaimer on your video. You have to say at the beginning, this is for use at kidslearnpianolive.com. But here's an additional way to pick up 750 points. If later on, a month down the road, a year down the road, 5 years down the road, if one of the videos that you submit to us ever gets 1,000 views, send us the link to your video. We will give you 750 points. Okay, but is there anything that I could do that's worth thousands of points? Yes, there is. If you're in Clopple Academy, every time you go from level 1 to level 2, or level 2 to level 3, every single time you level up, you get 3,000 points. And that's not even the biggest one. You get 5,000 points every single time someone signs up for kidslearnpianolive.com and they say that you are the one who sent it here. Okay, last thing before I say goodbye, for real. I told you that I would tell you my favorite joke, and here it is. A butcher backs up into his meat grinder and gets a little behind in his work. Gets a little behind in his work because he's a butcher. It's funny. Trust me. It's awesome. If you didn't think it was funny, that's fine. But go to learnpianolive.com/jokes and you can see some of our students' favorite jokes and you can submit your own. I think that's finally it. I will see you in another live lesson. Love ya. Good luck. Have fun.